Yeah, you can just do a couple. Use what you want.
I don't have good aim. There it is. 6, that's what I wanted.
So, what order are we going in?
So the action will go this way, and then it stops on Anthony. He'll be the first player next round.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be taking 2 actions kind of in a row.
Yeah. Interrupted by you narrating the next scene. All right, so the scene opens on the outside of this pub in the Hardstone neighborhood. It's there's this dim red light about it. Obviously, it's very dark because we're underground, and we're outside the restaurant that we've established by naming it the Chitter Ale. And it's a borderline offensive name because the chittering was this event that so affected our people not too long ago, and the image outside the door is of one of these horrific monsters with his pincher squashing a pint of ale. And so we zoom in on the door, and then out pops a dark-looking dwarf. That's me, Udo. He's wearing a black uniform with these crisscrossing belts. That's kind of standard for the clangers. He's got this black beard, this droopy mustache, and he's just been ejected forcibly by the proprietor, whose name is Svarder. Svarder's kind of a jerk. Nobody really likes him. And he says something like, "You don't bring that clanging around here. This is a respectable establishment." And Udo is a chill dwarf. He really has nothing to say. But he still turns around and gives the restaurant a really nasty look. And as the doorman is standing there scowling at him, I decide to try to talk this guy up a little bit to get some information on that we might need to use later should I ever want to come back here, because I'm already really displeased with this place. So any kind of leverage I can get, I'm going to try to get now. So being the informed dwarf that I am, I'm going to use some customs to try to see if I can't get to know this guy a little bit in the hopes of using that information on him later. So I'm going to make a social roll, which has no modifier, but I'm using my informed trait as a narrative bonus, so I'm going to get +1. So we're going to roll, and we're going to see what happens. All right, so we got a 6. Perfect. So that's 5 + 1. And so Udo very calmly approaches this guy who is looking straight ahead, almost like one of the Buckingham Palace guards or something. And I begin to talk him up and finally crack his mean demeanor, and I get him to talk a little bit about how secretly he really doesn't like Chitter Ale very much either. And he's kind of begrudging the fact that this stuff is just ubiquitous, that these pubs are all over the homes now, and it seems kind of opportunistic. And so I'm going to write that down under advantages for info on the guard, which we can hopefully use later. All right, you're up. What else is going on?
Okay.
In the scene here.
Well, my dwarf's name is Brenner. He's a setter from House Leftbrow. He's young, has reddish brown hair with half of his head shaved. He wears a light green vest and pants, kind of a bold but simple fashion. And he wears the rings that he makes on his fingers to kind of show them off and attract attention, and sells them. And
does it work, the attention you're getting?
Yeah, he's just kind of a aloof guy. He just kind of sits back, and people kind of notice what he's wearing and stuff, and it attracts some attention, but he's not very flashy about it. So you often see him with different rings because he sells them fairly frequently.
Right.
So I was sitting in the Critter Ale.
What did you have?
I
hear the Chitterbug's very good.
Well, I had the port because they were out of what I wanted. They never have what I actually want here, because this place is awful. And, I tend to just kind of make my own things. That's kind of the people I associate with, and we don't really like coming here. Like, I can hear other people talking, like, can you believe they just threw him out? Like, it's exactly the kind of place this is. And so, like, I'm aware this place doesn't have a good reputation. And so I decided to go chat up a table and see if what kind of interest there may be in making a competing establishment.
Cool.
So I roll a 1.
Is your social skill modified at all?
It's not.
Okay. So luckily this is just the opening round. We're just trying to build advantages. So luckily there's no consequences yet. But how spectacularly do you fail this?
It's just met with complete apathy. I'm not the first person to suggest this, but they have a pretty strong hold on just the market and the supply. So most people have given up on trying to give any sort of competition.
True.
All right. I'm Graham of House Orsney. I'm a setter. I've got my usual cool hat on and my long sleeves to hide my embarrassing tattoo. I'm missing my days playing music on the traveling minstrel circuit. And really bummed out that the Chitterail, when you can convince them to book some musicians, they always don't pay very well.
Mm.
So
So Graham's tried this before.
yeah,
He's played.
played at the Chitterail.
Yeah.
Or
He did?
I'm thinking that no, he has not had any luck getting booked because they're just really unapproachable. And
It's too corporate, man.
yeah, you kind of have to have already established yourself, and they've got their select group of favorites that they hire over and over.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I'm trying to connect with other musicians to maybe pool our resources and convince them that some gigs would be good, some different blood on the stage.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't know.
Blood upon the stage. Just some kind
Can
of
I make a creative flyer to put up?
Sure,
somewhere?
yeah. Are you a creative guy?
Yeah, it's creative.
There you go.
So
So what's on the flyer? I'm kind of imagining like your guy holding up a flute, kind of like an '80s guitar guy, but there's like some some kind
I
of
need some percussion. Maybe I'm seeking a rhythm section.
Okay. Yeah.
So would I go through with like seeing if the flyer attracts any attention?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. There's like I said, there's so much freedom in this. You can almost do
I can
whatever
say
you
I'm
want.
creative, and that makes my flyer really attractive.
Which would give you a better chance of attracting some people.
Okay.
And
So
is your flyer, are you just trying to attract other musicians at the moment to kind of play in existing taverns?
I'm thinking I want to get my rhythm section.
Yeah, man. That's how you're
Because
gonna.
I'm carrying the melody,
Right.
the high end.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
it's a
that's why-
Fleetwood
maybe
Mac
that's-
situation.
Maybe that's why I haven't had any luck getting booked.
There it is.
We
You need someone
that bass.
on the hand.
The dwarves, they seem like they'd be all about the bass.
They are, yes.
So I creatively
I'm writing
made
that
this
down.
flyer
It's gonna come back at some point.
seeking a drummer with a big fat bass drum.
Cut your first album, Low Rumble in the Deep.
So how does the
So you roll, and then so the +1 kind of negates the -1. So this is just whatever's on the die is your result. And if you get a 4 or higher, then you've done it.
okay?
Boom!
Right.
Perfect.
Nice.
All right. So
So my flyer found a drummer. Is that
that's exactly what happened. The Faf doesn't play drums, does he?
No,
No.
but with a great success, I think you attracted several drummers. You get to pick which one you want.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
the clanker, you're the one that showed rhythm.
That's true. That's actually, so after I talked to that guard, I turned around and then, like, shining in this stream of light was this flyer. and I had like my clanging stick in my hand and my cowbell on my side here, and I went to try out for Graham's band.
All right.
Did I get the job?
I think so. I mean, the clangers would seem to be the best of the best with hitting stuff.
We keep great
Very
time.
rhythmic, yeah.
Keep time.
Wood block, cowbell, wood block, whatever you need.
All right.
All right.
What happens next?
So, Faf, I'm playing Faf, the dwarf, and he is from the Left Brow House, and he's very lazy. He's exceptionally lazy and just likes to lay about all his days. And so he was actually in the Chitter Ale as well. And it was not his favorite bar because they have this policy that if you don't order a drink every 3 hours, you get kicked out. Faf is just, he's cheap, right? He's cheap and he's lazy. So, there's some nap time in there. He takes a sip, take a nap, wake up. And so the Chitter Ale is just not the most, responsible establishment. So when Faf heard Brenner over there kind of trying to solicit some opinions towards getting a new bar started, I think Faf was kind of on board with that and heard that and said, well, if I put in a little effort now, maybe I can do my one great task for the year now and get something established, and then I can, for the rest of the year, I can sit back and live off the profits. Sweet. So, since none of the clientele in the Chitter Ale are particularly interested in this, Faf is going to go draw upon his Forger's connection, and I'm invoking a trait there because I have a strong connection to the Forgers. So I'm going to go chat up the Forgers and see if any of them would be interested in this sort of new bar. Right. And I don't think we've had much connection yet to the musical section here.
Not yet. Well, it'll come back around.
It'll come back around. So, I get a +1 to my die roll for invoking the trait, and I have a +1 in social normally, so I am at a +2. So I roll a 5, which is a success.
Success.
So, the Forgers are indeed a bit more interested, since they all express their displeasure with the Chitter Ale as well.
After they stop rolling their eyes when you walk in, like, oh, this
so
guy,
lazy. This guy. But they figured that if I'm willing to put the time in, and they know that I'm usually lazy, but they also know when the occasional times I put my effort in, that I make a great product out of it. So when they hear me talking about this, maybe we want to start a new bar, they say, ooh, you want to do something? It must be good. It must be exceptional.
Right.
And they all get on board.
Awesome.
So I'm going to write as an advantage support of the Forgers.
Cool. And I guess, under your sheet, Jacob, you would write, got a rhythms, band the bands back together, something like that.
Under
advantages. Yeah. So you can cash that in later for a success without having to roll, if you can work it in.
Band mate.
Right. All right, cool. Anything else that we need to know for the opening round before we start our first story round? So our venture is we're going to establish a new tavern and hopefully drive out Chitter Ale, the horrible, horrible competition.